All right, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Sorry, it's been a long day. Thank you so much for joining. I'm super excited to have you here so we can kind of talk through some things for this upcoming year. Just a heads up, this is being recorded, so we can post it on the website when we're done. And the chat should be open for anybody to ask questions as we kind of move through. Excuse me. So please feel free to throw your questions in the chat as we kind of move through. Tonight we have some items on our agenda, some things we're going to go through. One thing I would like to point out, if you are a parent of an incoming kindergartner, we do have the Hullabaloo next Wednesday at 10 a.m. This is where we kind of welcome our new dragons to the school. They also get to pick their flavor. So make sure you're here for that. And for middle school, we have our open house on Wednesday the 22nd at 6 p.m. Students will get their schedules at that time. And then we have open house for elementary on July 24th, that Friday at 5:30. They can come meet the teachers and see the classrooms and all of that. So just some upcoming events for you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alexis Black. I'm the head admin here at Explore Academy. I taught science at all grades 6 through 12 for 24 years, though majority of my time was spent at the high school. I also taught for a year here at Explore, and I spent 2 years as the instructional coach here. And then I'm starting my second year here as head admin principal at Explore Academy Las Cruces.
And
And
we're
we're
in
in
the
the
same.
same room, so I'm going to mute myself real quick so that Mr. Zapata can talk. Give me a second. Oh,
Good evening, everyone. My name is Antonio Zapata. I'm the assistant principal here. I taught music pre-K 12, university level band, choir, orchestra, general music, musical theater for 23 years across the state. And I'm starting my third year here as the assistant principal at Explore Academy. Very excited to be here and look forward to seeing all of you here very, very soon.
all right, thank you. Just kind of a heads up for the most part, Mr. Zapata handles kind of middle school. I handle elementary, though we go back and forth as needed. So just if you're like wondering. So I want to start off with kind of the biggest thing that I have gotten the most emails about, and that would be the school uniform and dress code. So per our student handbook, all students must wear an Explore Academy shirt. And this can be any shirt that is a solid color. So no tie-dye shirts, no shirts with fancy patterns. It's a solid color. We also have a lot of students wearing hoodies. That hoodie must also have the Explore Academy logo on it with no other logos. Now, last year we tried to kind of do away with that and just have kind of plain hoodies. That did not work. So we are moving back to having Explore Academy branded hoodies. Now, the good news is that you can get the logo and iron it onto a plain hoodie. But I want to be really clear. I want that hoodie to be plain, nothing else on it. So just heads up on that. We will have some of those logos for sale here at the front office, hopefully next week. Or there are some people on Facebook who do that, or you might reach out to Ragged Apparel for some of that. But I have that on my next slide. The shirts must be a solid color and cover the chest. Pants must fit, no sagging, and no holes above mid-thigh. If students are wearing shorts or skirts, they must also hit mid-thigh. And we really, really encourage closed-toed shoes with a back. It's a safety concern if we're trying to evacuate the building and students are wearing flip-flops and we have to walk along the dirt path or we have to exit the building quickly. We really want them to be safe. We want to have those closed-toed shoes. And so just a heads up, if your student comes to school and they're not in dress code, we will be calling and asking for you to bring a change of clothing. So oh, that's random. All right, give me a second to work on the chat thing. I thought I had it fixed, but you know how that goes. More Q&A. Oh, how do I get to Q&A? Oh yeah, you can totally put your question in Q&A. That works because I can see it. So I went up to the top and the three, yeah. Okay, good. All right, so we got that fixed. So you can do Q&A. That works. Crocs. Crocs are acceptable. They have to be in sport mode, especially if they have PE that day because they're going to be running around. I have my oldest child lives in Crocs. He also twists his ankle on a regular basis. So if they're good wearing Crocs, I'm okay with Crocs, but they really should be in sport mode, especially if you have to exit the building. All right, so thank you for the questions. You're welcome. All right, so where can you get your shirts? Well, you can get them on Amazon. Amazon, however, only has the old Compass logo, which is still acceptable. I want to be really clear. If you are recycling shirts or you got shirts from already bought them and they have the old Compass logo, that's fine. I would like to see us kind of phase that logo out over the next 3 or 4 years and move towards the dragon logo because we are no longer associated with the other Explore Academies. I want our logo to be as unique as we are. So you can get that new dragon logo at Ragged Apparel. You can also just have somebody make the logo and put it on a shirt as we kind of move towards that direction. And if you are struggling and you need maybe some help with some shirts, we have plenty of shirts here. There is a family needs survey on our website. Um, sorry, I have things popping up. There's a family needs survey on our website that you can fill out, and our counselor will reach out to you, and we can help you out with some shirts. We don't have a lot of color selection. I think we have a lot of like navy blue shirts, but we have a ton of them. So just let us know if you need some help with that. And if you're on Facebook and you're part of the Supermoms group, there are a lot of people out there who are making the logo. But like I said, hopefully we'll have some logos here next week that you can stop by and pick up. All right, so that's our shirts. Attendance, just kind of a heads up. Every day, school starts at about 7:30 for drop off, and Mondays through Thursdays we go to 2:30. On Fridays we end at 1:40. We do serve breakfast in the classroom at the elementary level, starting at 7:45 to 8:05. Excuse me, and middle school can eat breakfast from 7:30 to 7:55. Once class starts, breakfast is over. So we want to make sure that students are here and they've eaten before they go into class. And breakfast is free for everybody. For regular days, we're asking, Desiree, I think the logos will be about $5. I'm not 100% sure because I'm still talking to the person who's making them for us, but we're looking at about $5. Sorry, I got off track. For Monday through Thursday, if you're trying to pick up your student, they have an appointment, please try to do that before 2. It becomes a safety issue when we have a bunch of people trying to come in the building. We have buses lined up. We have people in line. The traffic, our parking lot is not really conducive to kind of getting people in and out at that time. So we're cutting it off at 2 o'clock. So we can if you come in and you need to pick up your kid, we can get them to you and get you off campus and get you out of the line of traffic really because it's pretty crazy around here. And then on Fridays, no early pickups after 1. So just plan accordingly. If you have to pick your kid up a little earlier so you can make an appointment, please do so. And if your kid is going to be absent, you can email absent@ealascruces.com. Just a heads up, once we reach kind of that threshold, we start to see absences pile up, we will schedule a meeting. And for students who are really struggling to get to school, we'll have a meeting and see what kind of supports we can put in place. And we might have to put like just a little contract in place to be like, we agree we're coming to school because we want everybody to have the opportunity to learn. And it's hard to learn if you're not in school. So that's kind of our attendance policy. That will also be on our website and in our handbook. Questions about attendance? Christy, if you'll put your question in the Q&A for me. All right, I'll wait for your question to pop up. So our big thing here, drop off and pick up. I'm going to go over this, but then I'm going to go over buses. And I'm going to encourage you after I talk about this to really think about putting your kid on the bus. Oh, so Christy, I'll answer that question here in just a second. So drop off starts in the morning at 7:30. If you're a middle school drop off, you drop off in front of building 4. So building 4 is the one that's running parallel with Telshore. Like I'm in building 1, so it's over that way. That's going to be our middle school building. And I'll show a better picture of this in a minute. But you drop off right here in front of building 4, they head straight into the cafeteria to eat. And then you just head straight out and exit onto Telshore. If you're elementary, you come down, you turn around at the end, and then you're going to come around this upper loop. And you'll see it if you're new here, you'll see kind of this upper loop. You drop off right here. There's usually 2 of us opening doors up here, and then students kind of exit to the playground. We do not allow elementary to drop off until the buses have cleared. So the buses start dropping off at about 7:15. We have 6 buses. When that 6th bus clears out, then we start elementary drop off. Middle school, you don't have to worry about that as much because the buses aren't in your lane. In the afternoon, parents start lining up over here in front of building 3 and 4. They have been lining up really early, and we really want to stop that because we have teachers who need to get in and out, and parents are lining up. Some parents are lining up at like 12:30. We need to be able to get in and out of the parking lot. If we need an ambulance in, it just becomes a hazard. So we're asking people to please wait to start lining up till at least 1:30 Monday through Thursday and 12:30 on Fridays. Um, when you exit the parking lot, please, for the love of cheese, turn left. I mean, no, turn right. Sorry, that was a brain fart. Turn right. When you turn left, this intersection is incredibly busy, and turning left is really hard. We have watched so many people almost get T-boned trying to cut across traffic. It holds up the entire process. So turn right when you exit the campus. We've also been told by the police that we are no longer allowed to assist in any way. So we started off the year down there helping to direct traffic. We've been told we're not allowed to do that. So really, the only enforcement I have to make you turn right is I might stare at you very aggressively and point right aggressively. But please, 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 please turn right when you're leaving campus. It just makes it go so much faster. Now, last year, Christy, we were able to get everybody kind of off campus in about 15 minutes on a regular basis. Fridays ran long, I'm not going to lie. But with that being said, the first week or two of school, that first day last year, it took us 45 minutes. I'm not going to lie. It gets better. It gets better. One way that you can help us, and I'll put this out in an email, is if you're coming on and picking up, if you have your kid's name and grade on a piece of paper in your windshield, as you drive in, we have somebody calling out names so that we can get kids out where they need to be. This really works with elementary. For middle, it's not as bad because the middle school kids are already outside, so they see their car. We start to learn the cars, they go out. But for elementary, everybody stays in the classroom or out in the corner. So if you have the name posted, we can actually call names and have kids ready to load in cars. So if you have your name, I'm sorry, your kid's name and grade on a piece of paper in the windshield when you come in, we can get out much faster. But I'm going to tell you the first 2 weeks are going to be rough until the system gets going and we learn cars, right? So hopefully that answers your question. And the more people we get on the bus, the faster we can do this, right? So if the bus is something you absolutely can't do, I totally understand that. But if it's an option, please really consider it. You can always pick up at just the first stop. It doesn't even have to be a stop by your house, right? Or by your work. You can do that as well. So I want to just make this picture a little bit bigger. So here's Telshore right here. Here's Spruce. So here's building 4. So as you come in, everybody turns around and we leave these parking spaces blank. So everybody turns around. Middle school lines up in the middle. Elementary school lines up closest to the building so they can come around and do the loop. Okay. Just a heads up. I just got an email. They are going to be redoing this Spruce intersection, and they're actually having, I forgot to tell you that before we started this meeting, they're actually having the pre-construction meeting on Tuesday. I'm going to send one of my staff members over there to ask questions, get information, but they're going to be redoing this entire intersection. I do know that when they do have the intersection done, you will not be able to access our building from Telshore unless you are coming north or heading north from Target. There's going to be a full-on, what do you call that? Huh? Like a divider curb, like a wall. So you won't be able to turn left onto Telshore from Spruce and then turn right into our parking lot. That berm will actually go all the way past the Dodge dealership before you'll be able to merge over. So like I come from Mayfield, I come up Spruce, I'm going to have, when the construction's done, I'm going to have to turn right, go down, turn around, come back to enter the building, to enter the parking lot. So it's going to be a pain, but just so you know, we're looking at about, I mean, I don't know, it's probably going to be about a year of construction, but we'll know more after the meeting on Tuesday. Did you answer that question? Okay, I was like, wow, it went away. I wasn't ready. We'll know more about the construction after that meeting on Tuesday, and I'll send out an email and let you guys know. Okay? So the question, okay. The question was, if you're dropping off both middle and elementary, then use the elementary lane. Then you just drop off your middle school student in front of building 4, and then go around the circle and drop off your elementary. Last year, I was thinking about pickup. Like we had them come over here, but it didn't work so well, but once we got it going. So if you're picking up middle school and elementary, still use the elementary lane, but you'll pick up middle school in front of building 4 and then come around and pick up elementary around the loop. All right. Questions about pickup or drop off? All right. Buses. So I sent out the bus request form yesterday. I was like, what day is it? So there's a link on our quick links on our website. Look at the bus routes, find the bus stop that works best for your family, and then fill out the bus request form. Now, this is not like LCPS. We are not going to go neighborhood to neighborhood. We have 6 buses to cover the entirety of the city. So that means we have community hubs where we drop students off and pick them up. So really look at those routes, see what works for you, then fill out the bus request form. Now, some people have asked, what if I need to ride one bus in the morning and one bus in the afternoon? There is a place on the form for you to tell us that. Or maybe you have split custody and you need to ride one bus one week and a second bus a different week. Put that on the form. We can accommodate that. You did not receive my, so let me write your name down, Christy, so I can make sure that I get it out to you. Make sure and check your spam too. Oops, let me write your name right. I will look after I am done. Amber breeding. Okay. I will look after I'm done. I'm just realizing I wonder if none of the kinders got it because they're not in synergy yet. I will resend it out to all kinder parents. And I sent it yesterday. So if you didn't get it and you're a returning parent, you should have gotten it. Check your spam. But if you're a new parent or a new kinder parent, there's a chance that I missed you because of the way the system is set up. I will go through and resend it to all kinder parents this afternoon or this evening when I'm done. But it's also, you don't actually have to wait for my email. You can just get it from the website. Let's see. I have, can you see the website? Am I delusional? It's a little big. Oh, sorry. Let me do this. Is that better? Oh, cheese and crackers. All right, hold on. Hold, please. Share screen. This one. All right. Oh, it helps if you click share. Oh, how's that? There we go. All right. So when you're on the website, here's our website. You're going to go to students and parents up here. And it's going to take you to quick links. I'm going to click this caret for parents and open that up. And here's the bus routes. And here's the bus request form. So you can click this link, excuse me, to see the bus routes. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. It opens a Google Doc. You can see the different links that we have. It has the different stops. They're numbered. Okay. Once you find the stop that works best for you, you're going to go back to the website and you're going to open up the bus request form. So you don't even have to wait for me to email. Oh, yeah, you can ignore that because I was trying it out yesterday. But here's the bus request form. Just go through and answer all of the questions. All right. So you don't even have to wait for me to email it out. It's actually just right there on the website. Hopefully that saves us a little bit of grief. And I'll try to resend the email out tonight. Yes, you do need to refill out the form every year for us, please. We're trying to get better as we collect information. And the way we have it set up this year is it's very specific to bus and stop so that we can make sure that we have kids getting off at the right spot. So please do fill that out again. All right. Sorry, I don't know why I have a frog. Portion of screen, share. We're gonna make this small again, maybe. I swear I know how to computer. All right, there we go. So any questions other than the ones we've already asked about bus routes? So Teresa, I'm assume you saw me do the website, so we'll be good. If you didn't, ask again and we can go through it again. But you can find those on the website under parent and student. All right. Behavior expectations. We really want to emphasize that we are here at school to learn. So our behavior expectations are that we expect kids to be on time to our classes, to participate. This is not a school where people come and or students come and teachers are lecturing the entire time. This is a seminar-based class where we're asking questions, kids are participating, we want kids communicating all the time. So we really expect that students come to school ready to participate. We want them to show respect to everybody, right? Respect their fellow classmates, respect their teachers. Absolutely feel free to screenshot this. I will include the video and the slideshow on the website. Okay. Um, so if you have a child who is struggling in class to behave and is being disruptive, a teacher can call an administrator and be like, hey, this kid is struggling. I'm going to come pull that kid out of class. We're going to call you and be like, hey, we're really struggling today. Can you talk to your child about the importance of behaving in class? We really want to make sure that our classrooms are safe and inclusive for everybody. We want everybody to feel comfortable. Now, if I pull a kid out of class one day and we have a conversation, we call parents, I'm not going to assign a point to that, right? But if it's an ongoing problem and it continuously happens, then they're going to start accruing points. They're going to start having more severe disciplinary actions like suspensions or lunch detention. And then when you reach a certain number of points, then we start having conversations about like, is this the right school for you? Do we need to think about another placement? We don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that everybody can come to school, sit in class, learn, and be respectful. So just have that conversation with your children because I want to make sure it's a long school year, y'all. It gets tiring. I understand that, but I want to make sure that we can have a good, successful year and have students learn what they need to learn. As far as communication for elementary, it does go to the bus as well. Yes. Thank you, Mickey. As far as communication, elementary teachers will mostly communicate through Class Dojo. Middle school teachers mostly use email. Allow for middle school teachers and elementary. They tend to be faster because it's just texting on their phone, but middle school teachers give them about 24 to 48 hours for a response. Um, like so I'm going to give you a little thing that happens sometimes, right? And I'm a mom too, right? I have my kids at school. Sometimes they came home and they tell me things and I'm like, what? You're telling me that happened? I don't think so. Ask clarifying questions of your kids, right? And if you're still not sure what the story is, ask clarifying questions of the teachers. Email the teachers, hey, my kid is saying this. Is that what really happened? And then the teachers can respond and let you know. If you're not getting a response or you're not getting the resolution, feel free to reach out to admin. But I would appreciate it if we would communicate with the teachers first. Sometimes I would get emails where people are upset this happened and I go and I talk to the teachers and the teacher's like that didn't happen, here's what happened, and the parents like, oh. So it saves all of us a little bit of stress if we ask clarifying questions first. Oh, I'll get to you there, Amber. We're not there yet. I'll get there in just a second. But feel free to reach out if you can't get to resolution with your teacher, then feel free to reach out to administration. There is a link on the website for everybody's email. It's basically first name dot last name at ealascruces.com. That gets you to any of the teachers or admin. I do send out weekly newsletters on Sunday afternoon. You need to read the newsletters, please. There's a lot of information in there. I try to make pictures. I try to make it exciting, right? But a lot of information is going out in those newsletters. And we also post information on our Facebook page. So if you aren't following that, please try to do so. Let's see here. Going to Synergy. So we went live with Synergy, I believe, July 6th. So we are still trying to kind of clean up the system and make sure we have everything where we need to be. My registrar is busy entering students, cleaning up student schedules, doing all of that kind of stuff. If you're an incoming kinder, your schedule isn't done yet because we're doing that at the Hullabaloo. You're going to pick flavors then and work on your schedules. We are getting training tomorrow for how to sign parents in to Synergy. So I know like when my kids were at LCPS, I had to have a special code. We're getting trained on that tomorrow. And then we should be able to get that information out to you next week. So please just be patient as we kind of learn this. There are some things that you're going to ask us to do, and we're going to be like, I don't know how to do that yet. I'm learning. Just be patient. For those of you who are newly enrolled and you haven't submitted documents yet, don't stress out about that. We will get all that stuff submitted in Synergy once we get you logged in. So you'll be able to submit birth certificates, immunization, utility bills, all of that kind of stuff. But be patient. We don't know how to get you in there yet. That training's tomorrow at 9. So we'll know after that. And so Amber, hopefully, I hope that helped. And Class Dojo, the teachers will get you signed into Class Dojo at open house. So please don't worry. It's actually a pretty simple app on your phone. All right, after school opportunities. We have Enrich the Kids that takes care of grades K through 5 here on campus in the cafeteria. It goes from the end of school until 6 o'clock. They have a website here. I'll post the link on our website after this. If you have questions, you can email Alexis Reyes. She is the director of Enrich the Kids. You will have to fill out kind of like the financial forms, but the state of New Mexico basically pays for everybody to get after school care. So there is no charge for that for Enrich the Kids. If you are looking for something else, Boys and Girls Club also picks up from our school and takes them somewhere. Boys and Girls Club building. I don't know where it is. I'm not going to lie. But there is a small charge on a sliding scale. Our counselor talked to them today, and basically they would like you to fill out those applications on their website. We do need to have a minimum number of kids on our campus before they will come pick up, and I believe that minimum number is about 5. And then if you do have a middle schooler that you want to go to an after-school program, there is Teen Connections. We're waiting for them to get us an application, but in the meantime, if you have questions about that, you can email our counselor, Rachel Edwards, and she can answer those questions. We do have other after-school activities that take place. Last year, we had Run Club that happened on Tuesdays and Thursdays for elementary kids. We had Kids Can that happened in the spring. We had Yoga Club. That's up to teachers. And so if we start to have those activities again, we'll let you know through the weekly newsletter what's coming up. All right. Now, you may be asking yourself, if you're a returning parent, why didn't we have a flavor night? Well, because of this whole switchover from Power School to Synergy, we had to have the majority of our kids scheduled before we even left school in June. So that did not leave us time to do a flavor night. So we actually had all of our returning students select flavors in class in the spring. We did try to reach out to new students to get them to select flavors in grades 1 through 8. We may not have hit everybody, I'm not going to lie. We may have missed some, and we just kind of assigned flavors. And I know that goes against our model, and I'm really sorry for that. But we had to get those schedules done before we downloaded our Power School June 11th. So we were really up against a deadline so that we could go live for the start of school. But if they didn't get to pick their flavors for semester 1 at the middle school, they will get to pick their flavors for semester 2. We'll do that in the fall. So kindergarten will pick their flavor Wednesday at the Hullabaloo, and they will stay with that flavor for the entire year. And they will also stay with the same teacher for the entire year. So that teacher will do hum and stem for the whole year. For first grade, they've already picked their flavors, and they will stay with that flavor for the whole year. But they do alternate between the 2 first grade teachers. They spend one half of their day with their hum teacher, one half of their day with their STEM teacher. 2nd through 5th already picked, and they do that swap too, one half of the day with STEM and one half with hum, and they will pick new flavors at the semester. And then grades, like I said, grades 6 through 8 have already picked for semester 1, and we'll pick new flavors for quarter 3 and 4 in the fall.
Okay, so quarter 1 and quarter 2, they're going to pick.
Yeah, quarter 1 and quarter 2 is done. There was something I wanted to say. I'm going to go back really quick to behavior expectations. And this is elementary, so I don't worry about it as much, but just kind of a heads up. The state of New Mexico is very clear that there's no cell phones in school. So we have a no cell phone policy from drop off to pickup. So students should not be on their cell phone at all. There are exceptions if you have a child who has some sort of health management system on their cell phone. We can work with that. But other than that, no cell phones. Okay. So sorry, I just remembered that. I wanted to go back. And so the nice thing this year is that everybody's kindergarten has 3 teachers. They can have the watch on, but if we see them texting, then we're going to ask them to take it off and put it into their backpack. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, that's the state statute. For the nice thing about moving to Synergy, though, is now every grade will have the report card in Synergy. So for grading for elementary, it's on a 4-point scale where 4 is proficient, and then it kind of moves down. If there are students who are scoring in the 2 and 1 range, they will be doing interventions with their teachers to kind of help them access those standards. For middle school, we have what we call mastery-based grading, and there are two basic actually, this is elementary. Yes, she can have her cell phone on silent in her bag, not in her pocket. I'm going to go over the middle school grading at the middle school meeting. Sorry, I forgot I was in the elementary meeting. School supplies are posted on the website. They're posted on Class Dojo. They're posted on Facebook. I want to be really clear. Middle school students do not need to get a Chromebook. We are really pulling back from technology and moving towards more paper pencil. So they're going to be writing in their notebooks. They're going to be writing on paper. They're going to be reading on paper. So do not worry about getting your kid a Chromebook. We will have Chromebooks for everybody on campus when needed. We will use Chromebooks for testing, and they will have Chromebook access during flex time, but class time is really focused on paper pencil. All right, for our elementary teachers, in kindergarten, we have 3 teachers, Miss Fox, Miss Ortega, Miss Barrio. They will all 3 keep their kids all year, and they will teach them both hum and stem. For first grade, Sarah Johnson is STEM, Andrea Bernal is hum. For second grade, Carla Carmona is hum, Brittany Topmiller is STEM. For third grade, Christy Carnes is new, she's our hum teacher. Roseanne Coffrin will be Roseanne Coffrin will be STEM. For fourth grade, Sydney Bruno is hum. Desiree Gutierrez is STEM. Fifth grade, Emily McGuire is STEM. Antonia Skillbread is going to be hum. PE is going to be Hector Gomez, and Alicia Groves will be SPED. So the supplies, Alexis, should be the same. We just changed the format so that when we put it on Facebook, it was the exact same template, but it should be the same materials because she used their material list to make her template. But if it makes you, and I actually just copied over the supply list from Facebook, so I'll double check it and make sure, but it should be the same one. I'll look here in a minute. All right, and then lastly, PTO. PTO meets the first Monday of every month here on campus and also virtually. We really, really need more parents to be involved in PTO. We have several functions that we do, including our trunk or treat, our Veterans Day celebration, our book fair, our jogathon. We need parents to help out with that kind of stuff. So if you have time and you have the energy, I know it's hard because we're all super busy and going in 1,000 directions, but if you have time, it would really be nice if we could have more parents participating. So join the PTO Facebook page. They'll give you information on the first meeting. I also put that information in our weekly newsletters. All right. So if you miss the information about choosing a flavor, if your child is a returning child, then they picked flavor in the classroom in the spring. So they've already gone through and done that. Does that answer that question? Because I think your child was already here, and so he chose a flavor. All right, so this is the end of my slideshow. So, oh, it wasn't said. So PTO is usually at 5:30 on Monday, the first Monday of the month. And they will have a link to the Google Meet, or you can come in person. All right, so I'm done. I'm going to stop the recording. We'll hang out here for a few minutes. If you want to type your questions in the chat, please feel free to do so, and we'll answer any questions. But my email is alexis.black@ealascruces.com. Mr. Zapata's is antonio.zapata@ealascruces.com. Please feel free to reach out at any point in time. And I look forward to meeting all of the elementary parents at our open house on Friday. Let me scroll back up. On Friday at 5:30. Next Friday, the 24th at 5:30. For the bus routes. Yes. So let me stop the recording and then I'll just answer questions. Hold, please.